Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Black Mirror 2. So, we've kind of been given a direct confirmation that the character we're playing is the unknown offspring of Samuel from the first game, that Samuel thought he killed his wife. Apparently, she survived and went on to have at least one kid, if not two, because there's also this girl named Catherine that jumped in the ocean. I'm trying. I locked myself into a puzzle area. Well, the game locked me into a puzzle area, and I'm trying to unlock the latch to open this door to listen to this suspicious guy, who I imagine is some kind of relative of mine that's trying to spy on me or find out info. And I'm going to use this rope and hook I made to unlock the latch and spy on him and
that should work.
Fuller.
Just gotta be really quiet. If the handle hits against the door, they're both sure to hear it.
Wouldn't be surprised if it actually does. These air vents at the top of old doors before they had AC
Done it. And they didn't notice anything.
were super unsecure as far as locking down the building. But they really were the only way to let the heat out, too.
The door is open again. I can go in. I just hope it doesn't squeak.
Yeah, Angelina. That might have been it. I wrote down the surname as well. For another $10, I might even remember where I put the note.
Not necessary. I know her surname. And your assistant, what about him?
What assistant? Oh, you mean Darren? That's my errand boy. He works here in the semester holidays.
A good errand boy is worth a lot. What do you know about him?
Why are you interested in him? You want to poach him from me? No problemo. For $100, I'll even write his notice straight away. What the hell? We'll say 50.
Not interested. Do you know him well?
What's with all the questions? His mother came in and asked if he could work here for a few weeks. He's a pussy! One of the eternally afflicted. Oh, I feel so bad and the world is so unfair and it all makes no sense. Boo-hoo.
Fuller really
So you
not
don't know him.
making
And I've
him
got
very
no
interesting.
That was close. They're both heading for the exit, and I'm none the wiser. Who is this guy following then? Me? Or Angelina? And why? I'm gonna ask Angelina about the man. She's British, and that guy's got a British accent. You never know, perhaps she knows him. But first, I've got unfinished business with Fuller.
So, we have, as far as our latest quest, we listened on Fuller, tell Fuller, Fuller off, and seems like we have several different things we're gonna say to Fuller. First thing I'd like to do, and there's really no reason to, is see if we can just do this.
Perhaps I could even crack the safe. But at the moment, I don't have a good reason to put my life on the line for it. I don't know what Fuller would do if he caught me.
So we're gonna have to get rid of Fuller first.
Those are Fuller's dirty shoes for outside. In here, he wears other dirty shoes.
Look at the world map. And we've got a note and a card. Let's see, what can we really click on? We have the card?
A greasy map of the world. My World Tour is written next to it. A few places are marked. The USA, around Utah, Arizona. Then over to Hawaii. Afterwards comes North Africa, possibly Egypt. Then China, and then Europe. Looks like somewhere in Germany.
So he wants to go on a world tour, or maybe the idea is that this is some sort of combination. If it was, we'd have to see the full map for that to be
Greasy
easy.
map of the USA. A greasy map. The USA. What have we got here? The US, Hawaii, something illegible, and Europe. Fuller's smeared half of it with his filthy paws.
Look at the refrigerator.
Nothing in the whole damn world would make me want to open this door. You've just got to have a look around here to get the impression of what it looks like in there.
We have a waste bin.
Should I go through Fuller's garbage? Well, that would mean going through the whole house. I don't think so.
So we're supposed to put laxative in something, but I'm not sure what.
A used up, chewed up ballpoint pen.
We'll take the pen. I don't think we have anything.
He definitely doesn't need it anymore. And if he does, well, even better.
Microwave and safe.
The fatso lives on coffee and burritos. That ought to make for an early death.
So we're just kind of exhausting.
Fuller ate a microwave burrito with chili chocolate turkey filling yesterday. I didn't even know that kind of thing exists, but it does.
And see, I'm trying to find something food related that we could put laxative into.
Hey, where's the big jellyfish?
Let's rip them off.
I'm not interested in the cash still.
Let's see.
I don't need any of them. It's rare that I even hang any of my pictures.
Let's see, we could see his camera and see if we can get the film out of it. And we wanted to develop the film.
Huh. Looks like Fuller's taking the film out of the camera. But I wanted to give that fat bastard a piece of my mind first. Where the hell is he?
There is a door to the basement, a door to the back room, and a door to the dark room. We can see if he's in there. There doesn't seem to be a door upstairs, which seems odd. Is there something in the developer container?
I'd better leave it here. I can't do much with it outside the dark room anyway.
Take this distilled water.
A bottle of distilled water. I'll take that with me.
Just filling up our inventory like crazy. Is he in the basement? Yes, he is.
What the hell? A secret door hidden behind the photo backdrops.
So can we now look at the floorboards and look for a key to a secret door?
This place in the floor has definitely got something to do with Fuller's secret door. But right now I've got more important things to do than snoop around after Fuller.
Let's just walk through the secret door, I guess. Is he just gonna kick it?
What the hell are you doing here, boy?
Keep your hands off, Fuller! Because of you, my mother's in a coma.
What have I got to do with your mother? Out! Out of my basement! Go on, get out of here!
You should have told me that she called! It was obvious that something was wrong. I swear I'm gonna...
You threatening me? You? Threatening me?
If she doesn't wake up, Oh, I am gonna...
Out! Get out of here already! You're fired! Out! Out! Out!
You better pray she doesn't die. That's the only thing that'll save your fat ass.
Get out of here! If I ever catch you here again, you'll end up next to your mother.
You're gonna regret this,
You'll never do anything, you pussy! You haven't got the balls!
This is
You haven't got the
terrible
guts!
writing.
You got nothing!
Just terrible, terrible
Think
writing.
of something. I'll get him back. That man's gonna pay you, just wait. But I still need to film with Angelina's pictures on in front of his camera. I could use his darkroom to develop the film and make the prints. If he's not gonna pay me, then that'll do as a partial payment. Now all I have to do is somehow get him out of the store.
So am I supposed to do something with this car?
I don't know exactly how old Fuller is, but him and the car must have been made around the same time.
Let's just go smash this car up.
Well, I hate the guy for sure, but that's not his car's fault.
Like, unless I'm supposed to do something with the hydrant.
If this place ever burns down, I'll be the guy holding the match.
Like, he made all this talk like he was gonna do something with Fuller, and then he really didn't do anything. He really does come off as a wimp. Tow rope on the car, maybe?
So, fasten a tow rope to Fuller's car. And then what?
Tow rope to the fire hydrant so somebody comes down and hits both of them. We have photo developer, fixer, and distilled water. A ball pin's not gonna stab the tires.
You can already see the ocean down there. The street leads. I really can't say anything.
We can go back here, but I don't think there's anything new to do right now. It's tow rope on the grating.
I wouldn't know how that would get me any further right now.
And see, that's so off base that even the game doesn't have a clue. What's our latest quest? Draw Fuller out of the store. As long as Fuller's in the store, there's no way I can get to film without him noticing. I need to lure him out of his store. And do I want a solution? Like, we should be able to call the phone from some other place. I'm not sure. We could go back to Biba's Diner. We've not clicked on a lot of things over here. Maybe we can get Biba to, in some way, help mess with Fuller.
Most of the year, an open-top car is a bad idea around here. With that kind of weather, Biddeford should make the raincoat a national uniform.
Nice reflections here. That's something a lot of games wouldn't have bothered
How
to do.
nice.
It wouldn't have been capable.
That's stinking garbage, and I have no particular interest in it. I haven't seen such an old bubblegum machine for years. Belongs to the diner. They do that whole nostalgia thing in there too. No thanks.
So just trying to exhaust options
How nice.
and make sure we've looked at everything. String of lights.
A red, white, and blue string of lights. God bless America.
So I'm liking the background music being at about 20%, but now I'm starting to feel like effects volume or environment volume's a little too low. So let's bring this down to, let's see, 25%, and save that there. That sounds a little bit better. We don't need all this
fries, and
frivolous
drinks. What more could you
background
need?
noise distracting. We've already got too much
The
frivolous.
diner's run by Mr. and Mrs.
Dialogue.
Biber. It's not a bad joint. It's done up like a 1950s diner. Yeah, well, at least how we imagine the 50s were.
Let's see, I can, before I do anything else, let's just double check and see. We've eliminated everything except for the string of lights in the trash can.
A red, white, and blue.
Alright, there we go. Hey, if I double click, will I automatically move? Yes, I will. We have a guard we could talk to. And what else can we click on? Jukebox, a porthole, a lobster, vinegar, bread, and Mrs. Biba. Let's talk to the guard.
A guy in a uniform. Seems to be a security guard. Someone who guards over other people's money for money. The pinnacle of our society.
Interesting. Let's grab some bread.
I'll take some bread. Mrs. Biber won't mind.
So now we can do some laxative.
Ketchup, mustard, mayo, salt, pepper, syrup, sugar. And a bottle of vinegar.
I wonder if we're gonna do the baking soda and vinegar thing.
There's not much left. I don't think anyone will miss it.
Let's look at the menu.
There's everything you'd expect from a diner. From breakfast and lunch to coffee and cake.
We don't even see this
ready for
guy's
dinner.
face. So I wonder if there's maybe a trick
They
there.
got 2 or 3 people working in the kitchen. One of them's Mr. Biber. Mrs. Biber works out here on her own. Looks like she really works her butt off. The specialty is, of course, lobster. Like everywhere around here. I have to admit they are pretty tasty.
Cockroaches of the sea. Lobsters. That's
A
the
big, ugly
genetically
plastic
closest to
lobster.
cockroaches.
Not particularly appetizing.
But
They're supposed to represent something
they are
like
tasty.
portholes. In reality, they're glazed display cabinets. The rear panels of the display cabinets are painted blue. They both have underwater scenes with plastic fishes and lobsters on them.
just trying to eliminate as many items as possible.
I really don't know if this place makes any money. There's usually a few people whenever I come in, but is that enough? Surely you can't get by on just that.
Seems like nobody makes any money in this city.
What would a 50s bar be without a jukebox? The world's just wonderful, and aren't we all so very
And see,
happy type
we
music?
very easily
This
could
isn't
just
my
be
thing.
wasting our time right now. But the game seems like it does a decent job of remembering to not, like, forget. Like, the first game I think may have forgotten some of the things you've already looked at, and then would potentially present the ability to click on things multiple times the second time. Sometimes that's a good thing in a point-and-click adventure, particularly if it's an important thing you needed to actually look at. But a lot of times it just adds complexity and double clicks on the same item, getting the same lines of dialogue. We're still seeing a lot
If
of
there
that.
was maybe a Pearl Jam track on it, then I'd give it a play. But Buddy Holly doesn't quite do it for me.
It's just kind of crazy. All of this is here.
And that's about it.
Just trying
The
to
moose is
exhaust
the emblem of
everything.
Maine. But the lobster's a close second.
Right. So that eliminated all of those things, and now we've just got the bread, which
I'm not gonna feel any better if I stuff my pockets full of bread.
let's talk to either Mrs. Biba. I guess that's all we can talk to. I guess we can't talk to Mr. Biba.
Sorry, Mrs. Biba?
One
Bye
moment.
bye. Let's ask him about Carrie.
Can you tell me anything about Carrie? She's supposed to have killed herself?
Yeah.
Carrie and Angela,
She was a really
two
sweet
mystery
girl.
girls.
Always ready to help, always friendly.
Hmm.
She wanted to open a kindergarten here. There's not much in the way of childcare around here. Parents have to take their kids for miles to find a place. She was such a lovely girl.
What a tiny town.
She still had her whole life in front of her.
I saw a photo of her in Fuller's shop window. She was really pretty.
If I'd only known. The poor thing.
How do you mean?
It's not important. Too late anyway.
So, in the first game, it's coming back to me of Black Mirror. There was a certain number of people that needed to be killed to complete a magical spell and unlock a seal. It could be that we're going to run into a similar type story, and more people are going to end up killed. But right now, I'm not... Like, Carrie, for the most part, seems to have killed herself, and Angela is looking like she might get killed, but it hasn't happened yet.
I no longer
Certainly
work for
taking a
Fuller.
long time.
Good for you.
I don't know what's going on between you and Fuller, but I've got nothing to do with it. Mind if I ask you a few things?
If it's not gonna take too long.
Okay. And apparently I don't have anything to ask her. Right. We've got this laxative. Bread. And vinegar and bread. And none of that seems to have worked with each other. So I don't even have anything I can say to her. So unless the dog in the backyard is actually in this cage, that I could give the laxative to the dog and cause
Honestly,
it to...
I've got no idea who that is. The city's founder, a mayor, a benefactor, what do I know?
Town hall.
I find a lot of the buildings here in the center really big and swanky for such a small town. Especially the town hall. The city must have had money in the past. Perhaps on the back of successful whale hunting. Or maybe they did what we did in Boston in the 19th century. Made money out of selling ice. New England ice was shipped all over the world before we had refrigerators.
It's a possibility. There's still some weirdness. If we can come over here and look at this. Like, we still haven't gotten to this building that seems to be at the end of the town, but it doesn't seem like there's a way to get there. I need to walk over here to see the other side of this screen, which I'm not a big fan of that, how that happens. Telephone's probably still out of order. This light seems to be permanently stuck on green.
If I was needing some small change, then I might take a closer look at it. But not right now.
So, it's telling me hints to puzzles I haven't even run into yet. Yeah, there's nothing to click on. We could go back to our mother's house and see if maybe we could use the phone and call Fuller and harass him, since this isn't set in the past late enough that we kind of know.
I could try to lure Fuller out of the store with a phone call, but I've got no idea how. And he'd recognize my voice too. Perhaps I can find someone who'll do it for me.
Interesting. So back to the hospital then, I guess, and we'll see if we can maybe convince somebody else, either the nurse or Miss Biba. Like, it keeps. I think the game is going back and forth between pronouncing it Biba or Biba. Like, I don't think that's just me that's doing that.
I don't want to just sit here and wait for some news. I can drop by at any time and ask how she's doing.
And we have a nurse in the background that's doesn't seem like she's gonna really play any role. We have a soda machine.
A soda machine chucks out various kinds of sugared water.
So if I could get a coin, put the laxative in the sugar machine, that would make sense. The soda.
A bottle of soda. Great.
Apparently I did have enough coinage, even though the game didn't bother to tell me that. Alright. This one, and it doesn't circle around with that.
A good idea. But how do I get the laxative into the bottle without damaging the cap? A bottle with a carbonated drink in it.
How do you get
a bottle?
I probably need to cap it and then recap it. Let's see if we can get more.
I don't
than
need
one.
much more.
There's screens to see the security.
There seems to be dozens of cameras in this building. Perhaps they should film the screens, just to make sure everything's being filmed.
Let's see. There's a mortuary.
A gray door with a frosted glass window. The sign over there says pathology.
We can just walk to station 1. And what do we have here? Like a scale.
I'd better leave the scales here. What would I do with scales?
We can go talk to her again, and
I'm standing here in front of my mother who's lying in a coma, and all I can think of is her lying to me about her accident. Just what kind of a person am I? Her total sincerity and starry-eyed idealism always annoyed me. I always had an honest and decent example in my mind's eye, if I wasn't being perfect myself. But now I'm sure that she lied to me.
That was a little glitchy.
I'm even more unhappy about that. What else is she hiding from me? And why? No change. She's breathing peacefully and evenly, but no sign that she's conscious of what's going on around her. No change.
So that's the default message. I kind of wonder if nothing is actually going to happen in this story. Like, honestly, we may just go into the flashbacks that we know are going to happen. I guess most players wouldn't know that there would be a flashback right now. Most people playing this game wouldn't know that the major part of it is flashbacks, but like, yeah. I also can't apparently click on the telephone anymore. So we'll go back to Biba's diner and see if we can convince her to call and distract Fuller. She seems like a good candidate, but she might be too busy too.
Sorry, Mrs. Biba?
One moment.
What can you tell me about Bedford?
I grew up here. I guess I always wanted to move away from here.
But, well, that never happened.
I met my husband when I was 17. And we opened the diner here. It was a wonderful time.
Ah, yes.
I couldn't have known then that he was so... I have to get back to work. You want anything else?
Not really. Let me see if I can use just the camera on people. It seems like you can't.
My SLR camera, fitted with a flash, too.
So she gave me a little bit more information, and in the first game there was certainly a mechanic of some people you just needed to talk to and exhaust. I know I got stuck in at least one place where simply by not communicating and having a conversation the story wouldn't move forward, which is very odd because both in Black Mirror 1 and in this game there's a pretty considerable amount of storyline that just happens because the writer wrote it that way.
Well, come on.
I've never been in this store.
Take a look around. Buy something.
Thanks.
So maybe this guy'll...
Ah, a young man. You a soldier?
Maybe he'll do something.
Bit slow on the uptake. Have you served?
No.
Sir! No, sir!
Ah, so you want to put me on, do you? Find something for yourself and then beat it.
And we got a little bit of a flick there on the inventory. I don't know if that's... No, my mouse was over here, so I don't know why the inventory flickered like that. We've got a ton of stuff to look at.
A cupboard full of lots of different things. Books, a record player, boxes, measuring instruments.
You want to buy something?
I'll have a look around first.
I probably could get these tools and find some use out of that.
They look like bazookas. Hopefully they're just replicas.
I hope not.
So we might have some use for some of this stuff later.
A pair of wire cutters for cutting cable.
Probably need those.
I'd like to buy these wire cutters.
$2. What?
Think I have
You don't want to negotiate?
a infinite
You
amount
got
of money.
too much dough, right? You got it coming out of your ears.
That was the case in the
Never
first
worked a
game
hard
too, is
day
you
in
just
your
had a
life, and
considerable
you got no
amount of
idea
money
on the
in
value
your
of a dollar, I
inventory.
bet.
$2 is $2. In your time, it might have been a meal out and a movie for two. For me, it's half a burger.
Be happy that you can just buy a burger like that. There ain't many beef farmers left. All that imported stuff from the third world has screwed up the prices.
And pretty soon you won't be seeing a single lonesome cowboy herding steers across the prairie and singing those old trail songs around the campfire. Oh.
Yeah. Typical youth humor.
Horrible. Horrible writing. Like, I get that they're trying to do some sarcastic thing. I think also this game may not originally have been in English. Let's ask that question. I'm just seeing an English version here. I'm not seeing any options to change the language. So the version I purchased is in English, which seems a little weird. Like, because if you had told me this was originally written in, like, I don't know, German, Yugoslavian, something like that, it would make a little bit more sense. Even if
Perhaps
I'm
Eddie
pretty sure
picked
it's
it up somewhere
British
in
writing.
the Second World War.
Certainly. Let's look at a photo.
Yep, it's famous. I've seen this picture hundreds of times before.
I can't see what the photo is, so that doesn't help. He's
Shelves
standing in
of
front of it.
useless junk.
If you're just gonna bitch, then get lost.
Usually the other characters in the game can't hear you monologue.
Looks like a slide projector from here.
Correct.
Interesting. So we're looking at a lot of things, and then those things are disappearing instead of being something that we might actually interact with. And they certainly put this toy soldier in the wrong place.
I prefer my Star Wars figures. Is Lucas ever gonna make the 4th part?
Well, episode 4 was the 4th part, at least according to Lucas. Of course, playing this in 2018 when there's now a dozen Star Wars movies, it's a little bit different. I thought we could click on this walkie-talkie, but it seems like he moved in some way that he's blocking.
An old radio. Looks like a piece of pro equipment. Are you a radio hobbyist?
Radio hobbyist? You mean one of those idiots who thinks it's neato mosquito when they have another idiot on the air who only lives 2 blocks away? I was a wireless operator with the Hells Devils, 8th Infantry Regiment of the 4th U.S. Infantry Division. I was there in North Africa, and in Sicily, then in Normandy on Utah Beach. I was wounded on the Rhine. That was my eyes. And I got a Purple Heart for it all.
And so, are you still a radio guy or not?
I'm keeping the tradition alive. I talk to old buddies real regular. Can reach him anywhere. I'd say I'm kind of an expert. Keep my things in good working order. Always prepared.
Ah, okay. Good to know.
That'll be useful probably at some point in the future.
I guess those are Eddie's badges from his time in the army.
You got that right, boy.
There are 3 bottles on the shelf. I guess it's hard liquor.
Bourbon.
Let's talk to Eddie,
The
see
junk
what
shop
we have
owner.
to say.
He appears to be blind. Maybe he's just putting it on. That would fit with the cliche.
So him being blind
Tell me,
doesn't seem
why
to
haven't
really...
you served in the military? Over there in Iraq, they could use whoever they can get.
In Iraq, the war finished 2 years ago.
Well, you don't say. Read my lips.
That'd be the first
President
time
Bush is
the
going to
US
bring that Saddam to justice.
Sure. You know that Bush is no longer the president, right?
Well, he'll still bring him to justice.
That's the
Where
first
there's a will,
Bush.
there's a way.
Yeah. Sure.
Ironically, he was right. Although, maybe when this game was written, this is not an irony, a coincidence. It's just writing in a silly way. Let's ask about Mr. Fuller, Eddie Biddeford, blindness in the hospital.
Do you know Fuller?
That idiot next door? Sure I do. Can never choose your neighbors, can you?
You don't seem to like him.
That guy hasn't done one damn decent thing in his life. Lazy bastard just sits around in his store, has his mommy wipe his ass for him, and lets the place fall apart down around his ears. Heed my words. He represents everything that's wrong with this country.
You got that right. From World War II, everything's just been downhill, yeah? Pity we haven't got any decent wars still going on. They've even ditched the draft.
Go ahead. You just make fun of it all, boy. A good licking or a couple of tours in Vietnam, that wouldn't be such a...
What do you mean, such a?
Nothing. The guy's a pig. There's something not right about him. He's hiding something, I'm telling you.
We kind of know that.
And who are you? Is this your shop?
No! I just busted in here and you've surprised me, just as I was about to clear the place out.
Oh, how amusing. How long you been waiting to roll that one out?
Your
Terrible
generation
writing.
lacks respect for its elders.
Hostile
I fought
characters
for you to live here. I spilled
arguing
my
back and
blood
forth.
for you.
Why
And
not?
I'll pay your
Real
pension.
people would have.
So we're quits, Mr.
Edward D. Warren.
I would just walk out of
Ed
the room,
for short.
leave the person.
Or Eddie to my friends.
Hello, Eddie. I'm Darren. Nice shop you got here.
In my time, it wasn't customary to speak to older folks using their first name.
But we're living in my time now, aren't we, Ed?
I think you should find whatever it is you're after, and then scram.
Like,
Just like I thought.
why?
Play the good citizen, but still chase after every dollar. Like the devil chases souls.
And see, like that irritated him? Oh, so how did that help anything? I can purchase anything I want right now, so unless I had reason to try and steal something, which I don't think I do, I'm just gonna talk to him again.
Come on, what then?
So, what's life like here in Biddeford?
Well, you're not from around here?
No, I go to college in Boston.
Oh, so you're an intellectual then? Some sort of desk guy?
Like,
an
I really
egghead
don't
who
even
just
want to
talks
talk to
clever
this
all
guy.
day?
No, I'm...
Then you're the artistic type. Some depressive junkie? You're fixing your problems with a self-help group, right?
Probably.
No, I'm studying physics.
Well, we sure need that stuff. So what brings you here?
I'm visiting my mother over the semester vacation. She's been living here a few months now. Rebecca Michaels?
Oh, well, nice to meet you, Rebecca.
Oh, man.
That one got me.
How do you get on?
I'm blind. How the hell do you think I get on? You idiot.
Does it hinder you a lot?
Well, sometimes. If I need to look something up. Looky here. I'm supposed to figure out what this coin's worth, and I got no idea. It's a rare piece, but it's pretty worn out.
Can I help you with it?
Oh, sure, kid. If you think I'll fall for that, I give you the coin, you run out the door like a punk. I ain't stupid.
Yeah.
So, we'll ask about the coin, but I don't know what the coin has to do with anything right now.
My mother's in the hospital here.
And?
Do you think she'll be in good hands there?
Well, is she sick? She won't be in bad hands if she's in a hospital.
No, I meant, are the doctors here any good?
Well, how should I know? Do you think just 'cause I'm old I run off to the doctor and complain every day? I haven't been to see no quack in years. I'm as fit as a fiddle.
Yeah. People were made of better, stronger stuff in the past, right?
Yeah. Get to my age and then we'll talk about it.
You know my mother by any chance?
Nope. I don't get out much. What's she doing here? Fresh sea air and all that?
You could say that, yeah. A quiet place to retire. How you getting on with the coin?
You got nothing better
Apparently,
to do than
we've got
annoying
nothing
me?
to
If I find out the
say.
price of the coin for you, will you stop behaving like an ass?
Can't promise.
Show it to me. You can keep it in your hand. A woman's profile. A few stars and numbers. Have you got something like a coin catalog?
Yep. It's on the counter.
So now we can help him with that, and maybe it'll be a little bit nicer.
Boy.
I don't see this coin catalog, though. Is it in our inventory?
An old gold coin. If that's actually real gold, that is...
Alright, so use the coin with the coin catalog that's behind the character. Apparently I'm supposed to just look at the coin catalog.
That's a flowing hair scent wreath reverse from 1793. $2,400.
Not bad. $2,400. I'll offer him $800. Seller's an idiot. Thanks. I owe you one.
Oh, I'm happy to help old, disabled people. Put one over on the other folks. You're welcome.
Perhaps, you could do me another favor right away. I lost my cane.
You've done what? How can you lose a cane?
Not how you think. I was playing poker and, had a slam dunk hand. But how could I know that that idiot from the hotel had a straight flush?
You bet your cane and lost.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Who's got it now?
The owner of the Wild Coast Hotel.
Alright then. I gotta pass by there anyway, so I'll ask him.
Thanks.
Why do I have to pass by there?
You know, maybe you ain't so much of a idiot as I thought.
I have yet to find how to get to the Wild Coast Hotel. And there's, to my understanding, nothing that has indicated that I actually need to go there. Like, we have Harbor Promenade, and seems like if I click here, will the screen perhaps scroll? No. Should have just double clicked. Walk to the Harbor Promenade. To the Wild Coast Hotel. And apparently the door to the souvenir shop is open. It'd be kind of interesting.
First of all, I need Angelina's photo prints. I'd be a joke turning up without them.
Okay, so I can't go to this other location at all until I have the photo prints. Interesting. But it did occur to me that there's this beach location I can go to. A lot of things here, we're now clicking on everything just to get them all eliminated.
Biddeford isn't really a port, but there are plenty of boats here. Mostly sailboats. First of all, I need Angelina's photo prints. I'd be a joke turning up without them.
So I can't do
People
that.
sail out to go fishing or whatever.
Can't go
I'd
to
rather
the
keep
beach
solid
either.
ground under my feet.
So looking at the sign or going to the beach both seem to do the same
First
thing.
of all, I need Angelina's...
And it doesn't seem like there's anything else on this screen. So the game is trying to keep me pretty limited. And unless there's something in here that's different, which maybe there is, maybe that's why the door's open. Like, that might make some sense. We've got travel guides and armchairs and forums and advertisements and blank forms and souvenirs. It feels like everything has reset in this room, or I didn't look at anything in that room twice. We certainly are at a point where if we didn't have the hint system, I would have to go look at the recording, look at a walkthrough online and try and figure out what I'm supposed to do. But let's see, there's a customer card. We don't actually need this. Apparently, clicking the hint even once unlocks it permanently, which then probably moves me. So we need to take fullest photos to Angela and get the film and get photo paper. So there's quite a bit there that needs to be done. We need to draw a photo from the store, and all of that is centered around this section right happening right here. And I might very well need to actually look up a solution, but we'll see what happens. I don't want to waste 45 minutes or even 15 minutes in the next recording trying to get this done. We made good progress today, even though a significant amount of the progress was simply going into places we hadn't been before, clicking on things we hadn't clicked on. Assuming those don't reset, we now have a internal memory of how this world is laid out and kind of an understanding of what this section wants us to do. I imagine that I'm relatively close to finishing the first act of a game that very possibly is a 5-act game instead of a 3-act story. And if that's the case, I wouldn't be surprised if we leave this whole Biddeford section and maybe never come back, or we come back much later. We're certainly right now at least not having the experience that we had in Black Mirror 1, where there was definitely a point where I was walking around everywhere looking for one person to talk to that I had missed, or one item to pick up that I'd missed. I don't feel like that's going to happen here, and the world doesn't feel like it's been exhausted, and that it's boring and that there's nothing new to do. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. That would be a slight improvement, although this storyline writing and this voice acting certainly is pretty awful. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, gift me a game on Steam. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.